Welcome to Around H-Town.
104.1 KRBE.
Our next guest, I remember seeing commercials for and seeing them on the news with Dave Ward since I was a kid, which is way longer than I like to admit. I welcome to Around H-Town, Rania Mankarious from Crime Stoppers of Houston.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's dive right into it. For people who only see Crime Stoppers on Channel 13 with Dave Ward, you do so much more than that.
Yeah, it's like the biggest message I have. You know, I run around town, I talk to whoever I can, and I'll say, have you heard of Crime Stoppers? And they'll say, absolutely. We see you on the news every night, 713-222-TIPS. I'll say, great. Do you know what we do beyond the tip line? They're like, no clue. So, I like to start by saying we're a 35-year-old nonprofit. People think we're part of the police department. We're a part of the city of Houston. We're not. We're a regular, independent 501c3 like so many other nonprofits in Houston. So we work hard to raise our funds and to have what we need to do the programming that we do. But beyond that tip line that everybody knows so well and really is the most successful tip line in the world, we have so much programming that really serves the community. So our Safe Community Program, our Safe School Program, our Mothers Against Crime Group, our Fallen Hero Project. There's so much we do beyond the tip line that I do love any opportunity to share with people.
Can you give me a ballpark of how many criminals, how many thugs, how many hooligans do we catch every year on average?
So this incredible tip line has helped law enforcement solve over 33,000 felony crimes and apprehend and identify over 25,000 felony fugitives. It's an incredibly successful program. And it works because we work with the media, we work with our radio partners, we work with the community, and people know we're anonymous. They trust us. They call in information. It goes through a code system. We never, ever ask your name. We never write in notes if you're a man or a female when you call in. Nothing. We do everything we can to make sure you're anonymous. And then we pay consistently our cash rewards. We've paid over $10 million in cash rewards in 35 years. So, it's incredible. And you know what's so unique about it? Certainly that money is coming from foundations and donors who contribute. But there's a great amount of that funding just specifically for rewards in the tip line that comes from people placed on probation in Harris County. So if you're placed on probation in Harris County, the judge is going to order you to pay a fee to Crime Stoppers. It's $25. I mean, it's $50. But all that money accumulates and it's restricted. And that's what we use mainly to pay out rewards. The rest of our fundraising efforts are to support the program.
I'm talking to Rania Mankarious from Crime Stoppers of Houston, not affiliated with the Houston Police Department. Over $10 million in rewards. What would you say would be the average reward for somebody?
It depends. We do say up to $5,000, and we do pay $5,000, but your average reward can be anywhere from $750 to $1,500, depending on the complexity of the case. And our board reviews those every single month. It's the most interesting day of the month for us because our reward committee looks at how many out-of-county warrants that we found and how many arrests were made and what the cases look like. And it's amazing. It is amazing when you really look at the 40 to 60 cases that we solve, what types of cases and what parts of town they're affecting. And certainly we're in the schools. So we look at what we've solved in the schools. That's one of my I just love the school program so much. I can't get over how much I love it. But it's incredible. And we're looking forward to even doing more in the next year.
And let's talk about what Crime Stoppers is doing with area schools.
Since 1997, we have been in the schools talking to kids. And our message to them is, look, you're here to learn. You're here to socialize, yes, to some degree. But at the end of the day, you want to feel safe. You want to go to school. You want to come home without any problems. And we all know what's happening. We all know what kids can bring to school. We all see the drugs. We all know that there can be weapons. Call us. Call us anonymously. No one will ever know you call. And the kids trust us, and they do call us. And since 1997, we have solved almost 2,000 school cases and removed almost 300 weapons from our kids' schools. And the reason I'm so passionate about it is because I've heard people say, well, look at what happened in Newtown, Connecticut. Oh, my gosh, the shooting of these it's horrific, these first graders that lost their lives that day. Or look at Columbine High School, or look at Virginia Tech. And we're so lucky that Houston doesn't have anything like that. And for a while, you just kind of nod and smile. And then I said, you know what? Actually, people need to know Houston doesn't have anything like that because Crime Stoppers has been working so quietly, so efficiently, so effectively since 1997 in the schools to make sure that can never happen. So just to give you a quick example, before summer last spring, we were called by a student tipster. We went out to an area high school, and there was a student in the school that had a fully loaded handgun with 2 fully loaded clips in his backpack. Thank God a tipster called us and we were able to remove that. And we hear stories like that all the time. We just don't push them out in the media, but it doesn't mean that they're not happening. And for anyone like me, you, anyone who has kids here, grandkids, whatever it might be, you want to make sure that there are programs like ours that are keeping them safe proactively.
I sense this more so in the past 6 months that, the cops are out to get everybody.
Yeah.
And a few weeks ago, I had a chance to talk to an assistant police chief. It was about a week after Deputy Goforth was killed. And I asked him, what's the biggest misconception about cops that you would like to just totally debunk?
Yeah.
And he said that we're all a bunch of knuckle draggers looking to, go cause trouble.
Yes.
And what is Crime Stoppers doing in conjunction with the police community to alleviate some of that, some of that bad PR?
About 2 years ago, we sat down and there was like that slow turn where you saw law enforcement start to get assaulted in a way that we hadn't seen before. And so we said, we're going to launch a program. It's called the Fallen Hero Project, where the instant a peace officer or first responder of any kind is injured or killed in the line of duty and the suspect remains at large, we're going to instantly double our reward from $5,000 to $10,000. And we did that in partnership with 100 Club. The idea behind that was to tell the community, you know what? Houston is a huge city. It is thriving. It is growing. And there needs to be this order. There needs to be room for growth. There needs to be this sense of security. And we cannot be a city where we turn against our law enforcement. So Crime Stoppers is taking a stand and saying we will stand with law enforcement. We'll do whatever we can to protect them. When we launched this program in September of 2013, we said hopefully we'll never have to use it. Well, 1 month later, Officer Ann Carrizales was in Stafford, and she did a routine traffic stop and was shot in the face and in the chest. And the 3 men in the car got off in their car, and she got in her car and she chased them into Harris County, and they were able to apprehend one of the 3. The other 2 suspects fled on foot. We got a call from Houston FBI, and they said, hey, you just launched the Fallen Hero Project, and we're looking for two suspects that attacked a first responder. Will your reward, does it apply? And I said, absolutely. I said, okay, let's have the press conference. We did. Within 24 hours, both suspects were identified and caught. And that's just the power of the program. Certainly the money is an incentive, but people trust, and they like that feeling of security that they can call us and know that no one will ever know who they are. Beyond that, we're in the community wherever we can, talking to kids and adults about law enforcement and what they give to the community, what they give to each of us.
So we understand it's an exciting time for Crime Stoppers of Houston. Lots of stuff going on. You just had a gala with Dave Ward. What else is on the horizon with your organization?
It's been an incredible time. So for 35 years, we've literally been in donated space wherever we can find it in Houston. And we've done well with that. But, our law enforcement team, those officers assigned to us, have never, ever officed in the same building as the administrative team, the people that execute the crime prevention programming. And we felt it was time for that to change. So we broke ground officially on the first ever Crime Stoppers headquarters in the world. And it will be right here in Midtown. We're very, very excited. It will be the Dave Ward Crime Stoppers of Houston building.
Nice.
It is. It's amazing. And Ted Koppel came in for the gala, and Rula was there. And it was wonderful because so many people came together. One, just to honor Dave. He's been serving and doing an incredible job at KTRK for almost 50 years, and he certainly was the first Crime Stoppers reporter for sure. And then, having Mr. Koppel there was really neat, and showing people the first images of the first ever Crime Stoppers headquarters in the world. It was really, really emotional and exciting. And so now we're getting ready to build that facility and hopefully be done within a year and a half, but we'll see. Depends on Houston rain, of course.
Rania Mankarious from Crime Stoppers of Houston, thank you so much for swinging by around H-Town.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.